Golden Boy, that's what they call it.
The lights dimmed in the packed MGM Grand Arena on November 12, 1987, as history prepared to witness something extraordinary. Two titans of martial arts stood ready to answer the ultimate question. Could traditional tournament precision overcome raw full-contact power? Jerry Golden Boy Trimble, the blonde destroyer from Kentucky, faced off against Cynthia Lady Dragon Rothrock, the five-time world karate champion who had revolutionized women's martial arts. 8,000 fans held their breath as these legends stepped into the ring. This wasn't just a fight, it was a collision of philosophies, a test of heart versus technique, power versus speed. The winner would claim not just victory, but bragging rights as the greatest martial artist of their generation. Tonight, only one fighting style would survive. Jerry Trimble entered that ring carrying the devastating arsenal that had terrorized the full-contact kickboxing world for 5 brutal years. Standing 6 feet tall with the build of a Greek god, the Golden Boy possessed knockout power in both hands and feet that separated him from every other fighter on the planet. His signature weapon was a left hook kick that had ended careers, a bone-crushing technique delivered with the force of a sledgehammer that could drop heavyweights. Trimble's conditioning was absolutely otherworldly, forged through punishing training sessions that would break lesser men. He routinely sparred 15 rounds with fresh opponents, his cardiovascular system operating like a perfectly tuned racing engine. His boxing combinations were poetry written in violence. The Golden Boy could throw 5-punch sequences with blinding speed, each shot carrying enough power to change the fight's momentum. His low kicks were legendary. Opponents described them as getting hit with baseball bats wrapped in human flesh. Trimble's ring intelligence was equally impressive. He studied opponents like a chess master, identifying weaknesses and exploiting them with surgical precision. However, the Golden Boy carried vulnerabilities that sharp-eyed observers had noticed. His traditional kickboxing stance, while perfect for full-contact warfare, left him exposed to the lightning-quick techniques that point fighters had mastered. Trimble was accustomed to opponents who engaged in prolonged exchanges, not the hit-and-run tactics that dominated tournament fighting. His defensive philosophy relied on absorbing punishment while delivering more in return, a dangerous game against someone with Rothrock's precision. Additionally, the Golden Boy had never faced an opponent who could match his hand speed while maintaining superior footwork. Cynthia Rothrock represented everything that traditional martial arts could achieve when pushed to its absolute limits. The Lady Dragon held black belts in 7 different fighting systems, each one mastered to a level that bordered on the supernatural. Her tournament record was beyond pristine, over 200 victories with techniques so flawless that judges routinely awarded perfect scores. Rothrock's hand speed was her signature weapon, delivered with accuracy that cameras could barely capture. She could fire a reverse punch faster than most fighters could blink, her years of forms training translating into devastating real-time precision. Her footwork was pure artistry in motion. The Lady Dragon could close distance in a heartbeat, score with pinpoint accuracy, and vanish before opponents could mount a counterattack. Rothrock's jumping techniques defied the laws of physics. She could launch herself into the air and deliver kicks from angles that shouldn't have been geometrically possible. Her mental game was equally formidable. 5 years of tournament dominance had given her an unshakable confidence and the ability to adapt her strategy mid-fight. The Lady Dragon's conditioning was tournament perfect, built for explosive bursts of activity rather than prolonged warfare. Her technique was so refined that she could generate devastating power without appearing to exert maximum effort. Rothrock's experience against diverse fighting styles gave her a tactical advantage that few fighters possessed. Yet Rothrock had never faced anyone with Trimble's raw finishing power. Tournament fighting rewarded control and precision over bone-breaking force. Her defensive system was designed to avoid scoring techniques, not absorb the kind of punishment that full contact demanded. The Lady Dragon's slight frame, while perfect for speed and mobility, raised questions about her ability to withstand the Golden Boy's devastating body shots. Her fighting philosophy emphasized winning through superior technique rather than pure aggression, a potentially dangerous approach against someone who specialized in ending fights violently. Round 1 exploded with controlled chaos that sent electricity through the packed arena. Trimble immediately pressed forward like a beautiful storm, those tree trunk legs pumping as he stalked Rothrock around the ring. His game plan was brutally obvious: cut off her angles, trap her against the ropes, and unleash the power combinations that had flattened 37 opponents. The Golden Boy fired a thunderous low kick that would have crippled most fighters. But Rothrock wasn't most fighters. She checked the kick perfectly, the sound echoing through the MGM Grand like a gunshot, then countered with a lightning-fast reverse punch that snapped Trimble's head back. The crowd erupted in stunned appreciation. First blood to the Lady Dragon, though Trimble's poker face never betrayed the slightest concern. The pace was absolutely frantic from the opening bell. Trimble kept coming forward with relentless pressure, his blonde hair whipping as he threw combinations that whistled through the air with lethal intent. Rothrock danced on the outside like a phantom, her footwork so fluid she seemed to be floating above the canvas. Every time Trimble thought he had her cornered, she'd vanish like smoke, reappearing at a completely different angle with another scoring technique that left the crowd gasping. Round 2 revealed the fight's true character as both warriors settled into their respective rhythms. Trimble's conditioning was holding up beautifully. Those brutal training sessions in his Kentucky gym were paying immediate dividends. He started timing Rothrock's entries with the patience of a master predator, catching her with counterpunches as she darted in and out of range. The Lady Dragon's speed was otherworldly, but the Golden Boy's ring intelligence was adapting to patterns that lesser fighters couldn't even perceive. A perfectly timed uppercut in the round's final 30 seconds sent the crowd to its feet and the Lady Dragon stumbling backward. Rothrock was hurt but far from finished, her eyes still blazing with competitive fire that had carried her through 5 years of tournament dominance. Round 3 brought the turning point that nobody in the arena saw coming. Rothrock abandoned her hit-and-run tactics and made a decision that was either tactical genius or competitive madness. She planted her feet and decided to stand and trade with the most dangerous power puncher in martial arts. The Lady Dragon began unleashing combinations with surgical precision, her years of forms training translating into devastating real-time combat that left Trimble looking genuinely shocked.
Nobody had ever stood toe-to-toe with a Golden Boy like this, matching him technique for technique. Rothrock's angles were unlike anything in his experience. She was hitting him from positions that shouldn't have been possible. Her traditional martial arts background creating attack vectors that full-contact fighters never encountered. The fourth round transformed into absolute warfare. Both fighters abandoned defensive caution, trading shots that would have hospitalized normal human beings. Trimble's body shots were leaving visible welts on Rothrock's ribs, each delivered with sledgehammer force, but she kept coming forward with that terrifying competitive smile. Her back fist caught him clean on the temple, and for the first time all night, the Golden Boy's legs looked unsteady. The Lady Dragon sensed opportunity and pressed her advantage with combinations that blurred together in technical brilliance. Round 5 opened with both fighters showing serious battle damage. Trimble's left eye was swelling shut from Rothrock's precise targeting, while the Lady Dragon favored her right side where those crushing body shots had found their mark. The crowd was screaming, sensing this final round would determine everything. Then it happened, with 90 seconds remaining. Rothrock attempted her signature jumping sidekick, the technique that had won countless tournaments. But full contact fighting isn't tournament fighting, and the Golden Boy had been waiting for this moment. As she launched into the air, Trimble stepped forward and caught her with a devastating hook kick to the body that echoed through the arena. The Lady Dragon crumpled to the canvas, clutching her ribs as the referee began counting. 1, 2, 3.
Rothrock struggled to breathe, her face contorted in pain. 4, 5, 6. She rolled to her knees with determination blazing in her eyes. 7, 8. Incredibly, Cynthia Rothrock beat the count and continued fighting. But something had shifted. The last 90 seconds belonged entirely to Jerry Trimble. The Golden Boy could smell victory, his killer instinct taking control. He stalked the wounded Lady Dragon with calculated precision, landing clean shots while avoiding her desperate counters. A final left hook with 10 seconds remaining dropped Rothrock for the second time, and this time she couldn't answer the bell. Jerry Trimble had won the fight of a lifetime. The Golden Boy's victory came down to 3 crucial factors. First, his devastating leg kicks gradually broke down Rothrock's mobility. Second, his full contact conditioning allowed him to maintain knockout power in the championship rounds. Finally, that perfectly timed body kick was the kind of opportunity that only comes from years of fighting opponents who actually tried to hurt you. Both warriors had left everything in that ring on a November night that reminded us why we fell in love with martial arts.